Good morning, everyone, and thank you, Mantak Chia, for being here with us.
Yes.
It is always a pleasure to be able to talk to you and find out new things about the Taoist science and about what can we discover with the inner alchemy practice. So today, after having finished 7 days of Darkroom with you here at Tao Garden, because many people in Romania and all over the world are interested in this technology, I thought of asking you, what do you think is the greatest benefit of Darkroom from what you've noticed so far?
The whole key in the Tao for thousand and thousand years, they discovered that light. We know that now. More scientists prove that light. If we believe in Bible, they said in the Tao, in the Bible said, in the beginning there are darkness. And finally, God said, let it be light. So everything is in the darkness. And light, now we know that only 10% of the whole universe. Okay. Now they discover that there are forces we call primordial force, primordial light, and primordial sound. They come together. So in the West, we know that by dark matter, dark energy. They band together, sound come, light come. So our body, the major components is the light, or we call soul and spirit. And now we can be say that is the soul and spirit, the light. And so the light actually awakening a lot of spiritual work inside us. And the light actually, so the light that we're talking about is divided into so many light. So the first light we call creating light, the white light. And we have the healing light, or we call alchemical fire, we call the holy fire. And that is the dark violet light. Okay? And the intelligent light we call violet, more brighter light. Yeah. So when you're in a dark room, so the Tao, the formula said, when you sit there, quiet yourself, nothing to see, and nothing to hear, and nothing to talk, and no appointment, no anything.
Nothing to do.
Nothing
exactly.
to do.
Yeah.
You are no any worry. Okay, so you're calm and relaxing down. Now, when you calm and relaxing down, the first thing, so that when you're in the dark, until they cannot be dark, they are light. So that is the light. So that is the light come. Okay. So when the light come, in the Tao we call the primordial light.
Primordial light.
Or we call true light. The true light also involved with all the belief system, especially in the Tao. In the Tao we have theory and practice. Okay. And theory, philosophy, and practice. So the whole thing is light. Light is the creating us, and is the creator. And the end of our life, we have to follow the light back to where we come from.
Back to source.
Back to the source.
Mm-hmm.
And the light, because nowadays we open the eye, we see the world is colorful. We are living in a colorful world.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very beautiful.
And it's beautiful, but this one in the Tao said this is artificial light.
Uh-huh.
It's not the true light.
It's not the light from the inside.
Yes, not the light inside, and not the light from the source.
Source.
Yeah, it's not that light.
Mm-hmm.
So in the Tao said, if you people come to this world, one time in their lifetime, if you don't do anything, this light will come and awaken you. Either they awaken you, or either ignore it and they're gone.
Mm-hmm.
The sound will come, all kind of sound. And if you cannot awakening your spiritual work, these two sound go. And the fourth, or we call Kundalini, that a lot of West now know the power of Kundalini. We call primordial force. The fourth form, when the explosion part of this Kundalini force, or we call primordial force, stored in the earth, stored in the planet, stored in the star, and in the universe. Okay?
Yes.
So this force is everywhere. But in the Tao, we know it, and we've been controlling this Kundalini more than 4,000 or 5,000 years.
Thousands of
It's
years,
a technology.
Yes.
So you need to activate the tail because there is a grounding.
Yes.
And you need to activate the bubble spring, and that is born to do that. And the Yin is born to control the Kundalini force. It's just like a nuclear bomb. And you don't have a very strong and good nuclear reactor, oh my God, they're going to bomb everything away. So when you control that power in the earth, and the tail is the dragon tail on a coccyx, we call.
Coccyx, yeah.
In the Indian, they call a snake coil, 2.5 coil. In the Tao, that is the dragon tail. And the dragon tail had to be long, extended down to the earth, and you're grounding. Now you stabilize and you control the force. And the bubble spring, when the energy comes to bubble spring, you control the force. And when the bubble spring control, you take them into the Yin, or we call the perineum. And the Tao really exactly mentioned that point. And when I teach to the West, I give the name called $1 million point.
The $1 million point, yeah.
Because that point is where they can control the force. If the force cannot control, you get crazy.
It can also be used by men to control orgasmic ejaculation.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So that is how so that's why in the dark room, you started to realize where is the true force, where the true light, and the true sound come. Yeah.
So you've noticed a lot of people coming to the darkroom. Many years now. How many years in Tao Garden do you do this?
I think it's more than 17 or 18 years.
It's a lot of work, yeah.
Right.
And it's improving year by year, and you're downloading more information as we see.
Yes.
'Cause I've been following your work since 2009 maybe, so every time is new stuff. So, Master Chia, you've noticed many people coming out of darkroom along the years. You've been doing this for many, many years now.
Right.
How many?
17 years
17
now.
years. So it's a lot of work, and then each year it's improving. You're downloading more information coming from source, as we've seen. We've followed your work since 2009 now. So what would you say for a person that gets out of darkroom? What would you say it's the main word?
When people see the violet light, they have intelligence. And this intelligence is going to change their life. Okay? And they see the light, they have a goal to run. They know their goal, what they want. Now in the dark, they know, this is my goal in my life. And they know when in the first practice we call a first return. That means your real self are coming back to you. That is the first step. We call the first return. The first return, we have our own self, but be covered by all kind of business, all kind of drug, all kind of toxic.
Layers, like layers.
Layer. We don't see ourselves. So when in the dark, when you see light, the first thing you use the light to convert all the toxic, all the emotional, that it drain your jing from the organs, and turn them back into jing again, because they from jing in the organ, when emotional turn to negative, cloudy, heavy, settle down thing. Now the creating light can change them, and that's what that light is important.
Yeah.
They change them to jing. Now when change them to jing, now you return this jing back to the organ. Now you become back to yourself. So that is the first thing, you become yourself.
Yes.
And we also say you are developing the first flower of life.
Flower of life. Yes,
the first pattern of 2 circle creating. And you make another 2 circle, boom. And when there's 2 circle, now you're creating a flower of life.
The flower of life, yes. So to explain to the viewers, the jing in Taoist practice is the main physical force in the body, and it's turned into qi, and then it's turned into shen, spirit, right? Because many people are asking about the shape now. So you've also introduced Bigu to people.
Yes.
Or the practice of energy fasting.
Yes.
Like we call it in the West. How would you compare that to, for example, what the breatharians or the people who are nourished by prana do? So there are dark rooms with or without Bigu food?
That means the end of the goal is you eat very little or stop
Or
eating.
not at all. Mhm.
Okay, but the process is gradually, and we see nowadays people cannot go to that. And there are many research now in the big university, and when people really not ready, they get big trouble.
They destabilize their bodies.
Yes.
Yes.
The first thing is that they cannot convert the energy.
What would it
Okay.
take to convert the non-physical energy, so the light, into physical energy?
I mean,
for a body?
light, if we say they have everything, and the air, they have everything.
Yes.
Okay? But the body cannot convert them.
It doesn't know the codes.
Right. So that's why they have to start from Bigu. Bigu, we call, you have a dummy, and you have what we call a block. So a certain food, when you chew them well, they're mixing with oxygen, nitrogen. So we talk about how the nitrogen, the bean, the peanut, the nut take it and fix on the ground and make it to the nutrition that they need.
Yes.
So we can only bean can fix nitrogen. And now we know it, all the nutrition in this earth have to have nitrogen inside it. Okay?
That's how life is created on
Right.
this planet.
So
you
it's the
say.
nutrition and nitrogen. We have so much. We have 21% oxygen and 79% is nitrogen.
Nitrogen.
Okay. Now, but they cannot do anything unless you learn how to do the saliva right. Okay. So there are patterns of how to chew, how to get the mind set up, and how to convert the simple food into a block, like we call a Lego block. If you have the Lego block, you can build anything you want.
A block of energy that
A
then
block
is
energy
swallowed.
that
Yeah.
the body needed. And eventually, you get it. So if people not ready to that level, not starting by turning the light, transforming the jing. So when your Tao said, when your jing are so full, you don't want to eat. You stop
You
eating.
feel not hungry. Yes,
Right.
Yes.
But a lot of people not working with energy, and they just, okay, I want to stop eating and this and that. And now they discover that in the first day you burn out the fat, in the second day you need muscle, you need protein, and the third or fourth day you need mineral and calcium from
So
the bone.
it starts the autophagy in
Yes.
the body.
So now they discover that after 3 or 4 days, you lost fat and you lost bone mass, the calcium gone, and you lost the protein and you lost the mineral. Now, if you are 30, 40, you have no way to replace it. So difficult to replace it. Calcium people, when they lost, they don't know, because Rome is not fall down one day. You need some kind of people have so much experience, and you need a Tao master, a few thousand years old, practice, written down, and people making into a mistake. But what the people, the whole body dragged down, the bone gone, the teeth gone, and they take another, after they try to bacterium for a few years, and you see the problem happen. And when they happen, they don't come out and advertising for everybody, because they make a mistake themselves. Okay?
So it takes training and it takes a lot of work with
Understanding
light
with
and
energy
understanding,
and
yes.
chi and the primordial light and all these things. you know.
So your main practice is also working with sexual energy, and you're one of the most renowned teachers in this field, and we might say one of the most talented in explaining it and working with it in a very, very harmonious way.
Yeah, sexual energy practice is a very touchy. Okay, so after I teach this for 35 years to the West and book and everything, at least I gain a name. Mantak Chia teaching the sexual practice, nothing dirty about.
Exactly.
Very
That's what we
precise.
appreciate.
Okay,
Very good.
but a lot of people, when they go into this, they're creating a lot of sexual misconduct. Okay, and misuse the sexual power
Yes.
and all these things. So that's why I'm very careful. But the whole practice is transforming the sexual energy.
It's an
nothing
inner
you
alchemy.
right.
Inner
Definitely,
alchemy, yes.
you understand why the arousal, orgasm important, because arousal, orgasm, love, compassion, we call make love. But the Tao, they've been mentioned this on 4,800 years, written down in the book. So haven't written down the book yet. Let's go back to a few thousand years.
Yes.
Because it cannot be said that, okay, I understand now and write a book, okay, and the language, you cannot do. But when they started to write down, that means they already practiced for 100 years. And they have the experience and passing down, and have the language and they write down. So they talk about healing love, you're producing loving energy, is a healing power. And the West proved that. Say, okay, DNA renewal, in the best condition is arousal, orgasm, love, and compassion. Now we make a DNA renewal in a very original state.
So basically the DNA splits with the energy of inner
From
orgasm.
the beginning of
Yes.
when we are, and yesterday I just, I ordered the book, and they said, when you are what called sexual fantasy, and one of the doctors, they proved that, hey, sexual fantasy and actually have sex, they are very similar.
Because the brain doesn't
The
know
brain
the
do
difference between what you do and
Right.
what you think. And,
So-
and that's a lot of wasted energy
So-
with fantasizing also.
No, but you have to use them right, you
Yes.
see. If you're creating the energy, and when you're creating the energy, you have to harvest the energy. So that's why we said we have, so the Tao said you have yin and yang inside you and you make love.
Inner.
Now,
yeah.
inner. So we are inner orgasm or multi-orgasm by yourself.
Inwardly. Yes,
yeah.
inwardly. Yeah, exactly.
So that is how, when you get it, you really feel arousal, orgasm, love, and compassion combine together, creating our energy. Now the DNA split. Now if DNA split good, you have a good cell. You're healing. You're healthy.
And you can channel it to each organ
Right,
and to each
right.
endocrine
Right,
gland and so on and so forth. So it's basically an internal practice, and we have to also work a lot with that before starting to sharing it externally.
Yes. So now when you control internally, when you make love with the partner,
yeah.
a person, and they know how to channel this energy, the love is so beautiful. We call multi-orgasm. Both have very highly arousal orgasm, and you gain so much healing power.
Yes, yes, and many people are asking now about how to share the sexual energy, because some have the once it grows, some have the tendency to spread it everywhere. You
Right,
know.
but have to
And
spread in the right way.
in the right way. That's the main thing, and I was.
You
wanting to
know,
ask.
people copy so much book, and now they look at the YouTube. Oh, they know it. I know everything. You know.
Okay, I as a therapist, I work a lot with people that have been abused. And of course they have a lot of blockages in this area. What would you recommend from the Taoist practices that you share? for
The
this
whole
field
key,
of-
the first step, we always do that. They have to learn how to smile and breathing to the uterus and sending love there. That is the first step they have to learn.
Yes,
Because they've been abused, the abuse energy blocked in the uterus.
in the uterus. Yes, yes,
Okay,
yes.
vagina and uterus. Usually very deep in the uterus and ovary.
And for the men,
Men usually
prostate.
prostate gland is a frustration, not involved with much sex.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, prostate frustration, all kind of stress, all kind of emotional. Definitely, prostate gland have some problem, but not much like women. You know,
Yes.
and man is just ejaculation out, releasing all kind of thing in the woman.
So they basically release that energy into their
Right.
partner if they don't
Right.
channel it upwards.
Right.
Okay, that's important to know. So first thing would be working with the uterus for that type of affection.
Yeah, they have to
And-
learn how to love, learn how to smile, and sending love. So and now you're sending good energy to clean them out, because this is very deep trauma.
Yes, yes, exactly. And we've noticed people really blocking.
So people sometimes just talk. Sometimes you go through the whole trauma, okay, and they think that if you go through it one time, two times, it's gone. But
It-
usually
it
sometimes
doesn't
it's not
go
gone
away.
that
Yes,
way. Yeah.
exactly. So,
It's the energy and memory need to clean them out.
does the jade egg practice or any other physical practices
Yeah, the
help you
jade
with
egg, that when people learn how to smile, learn how to contract, and now they can do the jade egg. Yeah,
Yeah.
because that will really help them, you know.
Yes, yes. So, would you say this inner energy changes when once we introduce more of the Bigu practice in our life?
Yes, because Bigu is certain thing, and we have the detox system. The whole very complicated detox system. So people, when they're in the dark, eat lesser, and have we call number one the lymphatic detox, and chasing out all the parasite, and it is a blood detox, and the kidney and liver detox, and the large intestine detox, and everybody coming out they light.
Lighter, yeah.
Lighter and lose the toxic
Yes,
and the
yes.
fat out, but not muscle. Not you don't lose muscle,
Yes.
and you don't lose you don't lose muscle. You don't lose calcium in the bone. You don't lose the mineral.
Yes, yes, because you make the right mixture of
Right.
nutrients for that practice. And what would you recommend for before and after? Because people don't just get in, you know, after
The before
many
you
large
yeah.
meals and stuff like
Before we tell them that you should eat lesser and clean out the large intestine, clean out the blood. And when you come in, prepare, calm yourself. And after you go out, I hope there is 1 week of eating slowly, chewing well, and you go back, you can eat whatever you want. But in at least reduce 1/3 or 2/3 of the food.
that. Yes, yes.
Because you chew well, it take longer time. But you have enough food. You have a lot of saliva and energy, oxygen, nitrogen, and you learn how to get the color of light into it. Now you have enough energy.
So you combine the food with the
The
light
same thing with that, yes.
when
Right.
you eat. So you eat both
Right.
until the body gets used to
Right.
light better.
Right.
Yes. So thank you so much for all this wisdom. And we know that you are preparing to come to Romania soon.
Yes.
You'll be hopefully present at the Prani Festival in August 15, at least online for us, because we're going to be gathering to again in the mountains. And then in November, you're coming live, right?
Yes.
So people are really waiting and looking
Yeah.
forward for you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.